lot of my inspiration and me taking action comes from a place of like, okay, but if I can't make it out of my own situation, like no one out of like Kalicha will ever be able to make it if I can't make it. You know what I mean? Like I had all the resources to a large degree. And so for me, taking action is almost a moral obligation to try and achieve my ultimate dream, you know, whatever that may be. And it's almost like a very foggy idea, but I just know if I take one foot forward and, you know, I have like a sort of a vague idea as to what I want to achieve. I see year on year, it sort of changes, but it gets more clear. Yeah. You know, and the vision is getting clear, but I think it always will change. You know, like I never thought I would be where I am right now 2 years ago. But if I didn't take action on the thing I wanted to achieve then, I wouldn't have been here. Yeah.
But I think I had a very, like, I actually can relate to a lot. I had also like a similar mentality towards it. I was also like, and I think it's something sobering about living in a place like South Africa where you constantly see this extreme wealth, extreme poverty, and you see all these people that are like trying so hard in their life, and then you look at like, I have everything that I need.
You have
like,
so much given.
I'm so much privileged, and like for me, it almost felt like it felt like a waste and like almost arrogant to be like, why would I not pursue my dreams and try? Like I have every backing. I have a family that if this completely breaks, I have a family that will take me back in tomorrow, you know?
It's almost like I need to achieve this success to almost prove to myself that I'm worthy of this opportunity that was given to me. It's like, okay, like this was a worthy situation for God to place into me. I made him proud. I took action. I did what I need to do. I'm pursuing through the friction, you know?
Exactly.
I think that's a big thing, Karish, because I also wrote an email about this. I think I mentioned in the previous video as well. It's like, this is the price of the dream you prayed for. I mentioned it a couple of times, I don't know as well. But it's a big theme in my life right now. It's like all the friction that you go through, that is, and the doubt, the fear, that might just be the price of the dream that you prayed for. You prayed for this business, for this revenue, for all the clients. Now you, to an extent, to a large degree, are very close to it or have it, or you might have it and gone maybe a step back. It's like maybe the thing that you're going through right now is the price of you achieving that thing. You know, it's like working through it. You're praying for God for courage, and then He puts you in a situation where you need to be courageous. Well, now you need to be courageous, and then by extension, you will be courageous. You know?
It's all about the framing, right? Like when things go, like I recently talked to Quentin about this. When things are chaotic, I think it's almost that's like a psycho in a sense. I'm like, fuck when things are just like, fuck, you're like, let's go. But when things are good, you're like, oh shit.
Yes.
You know, things are like, I need to, like something is up. I'm stressed there. I'm stressed 100%. There. But when things are stressed out there, I'm calm and happy. It's weird.
So if you enjoyed this conversation and you relate with the health and wealth aspect, and you know both of these are very important when it comes to scaling a business or just as an entrepreneur in general, you know, top link in the description if you want a more personalized approach, you know, to scaling a business or in the health aspect as well. And also in the description is access to our free community where we've got 20 hours of content that you can just consume.
100%. If you enjoy this conversation, share it to a friend. Maybe think about subscribing, put the notifications on. It helps the channel a lot. And by doing so, we can get some more interesting guests like this. So let's get back to the video.
I had that recently. So this week we've been pushing. Like in the last month, we've doubled the size of our team. We've doubled our clientele. Like it's just been crazy growth. And like my creative and director and I have been like clashing heads because she's trying to deal with the production of like the content that's going out, and I'm trying to push like the growth and systemization and even like then, and I actually said to her, because like, I could just tell we were like this, and then I said to her like, also like, what's up, whatever, and we spoke about it, and then she's like, you know, I just feel like you're pushing us too hard, like things are going, and I said to her like, if there was no friction in the situation, it would mean that we are taking things too slowly. So like, I like it. I said to her, like, we need to clash from time to time, because if we're always best friends and we just like, like going on this journey together, then it means that we're not pushing hard enough and we're not trying to like, we're also not testing it. Like, are we actually working as hard as we can be? Are we putting out the outputs? Are we giving the best service to our clients? Are we at capacity? Like, those are all things that only by like testing it and feeling the friction.
Didn't Mark Zuckerberg say that? He said, if things aren't falling apart, you're moving too slow.
Exactly.
So things need to be falling apart.
Exactly. And I said to her, because obviously like I'm dealing on the growth side, she's dealing with the operations and keeping things flowing. And I said to her like at least once a quarter, you should want to punch me in the face. Like that's a good metric that we're like doing things the right way. But going back to what you're saying, I think it's so important, bro. Like there's like, I heard one thing, it was actually such a good analogy. They were saying like, a lot of people pray and think that God is going to bless their life. You pray and God blesses your hands. because he's like, okay, cool, I put you in a situation now, I'm going to help you do the thing. But you can't just like pray and sit, you know, you have to actually, he's going to bless your hands to make the work.
Faith without works is dead, you know,
yeah.
like it is 100% what it is. You know, a lot of people tend to just have faith and do this. And, you know, I don't want to, you know, step on any toes because I'm also not 100% sure what the verse is saying. But like, you know, there is a point where you pray, but you need to be taking action in faith. Like that's the main thing. It's like taking action, pursuing your dream despite the fear and the doubt. You know, it's like that is what it is. It's like you have this dream. I really think if everyone sits still, there is a voice, and it's usually the loudest late at night when you're alone. You know, it's like sitting whispering to you. It's like, you could be more, you can do this, you want to achieve this. And that I see is like that's my ideal self, my future self almost whispering to me from the future. It's like, bro, like do this is what you want. And then it's almost like, you know you want that thing, but there's a lot of doubt and fear. It's like, that is it. That is the fucking thing, bro. Like, I had that voice 2 years ago, and that was starting a podcast, you know? Now it's 28, 9 episodes later. We've got great guests on, a lot of testimonies after like a year doing this. This is the testimony of taking action despite the fear and the doubt, you know? And I think that can be such a beautiful lesson for everyone watching. It's like, you might have that idea or that thing that you're thinking about, but you don't think you can do it. Like, this is a testimony that it is fucking possible, you know? Despite having all those things.
Of course.
I never really had the fear and doubt that much, because like I just gave myself, it was literally either get rich or die trying. You know, I was literally dying or I was getting rich. So there was literally no other option. So with that, like, I was like, okay, burning the boats, just like dropping out everything. And it's funny, once you start doing that, like the day I dropped out, I also worked with Iman Gage, like his content team, right, in 2022. And I think it was June, like somewhere around there, right? The day after I dropped out, I got the job. So I dropped out, and as I went to sleep, I told my dad, I'm getting this job, obviously. And then I dropped out, like, I'm getting the job. Now, if I stayed in there, I might, maybe, I don't know how the cosmic stuff works, but I might not have gotten that job because I didn't take the jump.
That's a good way to look at it.
And that's, bro, that is the definition of faith, right? It's doing or believing something with the chance that it will never
with no results that it's actually possible.
No, but like it was gonna happen.
But what I'm saying is like going back to like having faith in your journey, whether it like in whatever it is, like the definition of faith is taking the leap and believing it will happen with zero evidence.
Okay,
like that is faith. But I think like that's something I also like growing up. I think, again, going back to like the evidence stuff, I saw that with sport. It's like sport was my way of like building that evidence of like, I just always believed that if I set my mind to it, and I do believe that it was my parents that like whispered it in. I can't remember when it started, but like I've always had this like thing in my head of like, I just know that if I really set my mind to something, I'll do it. Like it'll happen. And having that, like whether it's through sport, through academics, like whatever, like just proving to myself year on year that like, if you actually set your mind to it and you really want it, like you give up everything and you really want it, like it'll happen.
Now that I think about it, like I think a big part of it was my mom when I was growing up. Like she always, I got like 50s for science or something. She's like, yo, you're the best. This is fucking amazing. I'm like,
it's
oh,
like,
this
mama,
is terrible. I'm depressed. Like, what? No, she's like, oh, you're the best, smartest kid on the block. And I'm just like, okay. So I think it's definitely a big part of it. It's like loving parents.
I think like a very big thing for me was like, especially growing up, I always felt, because I definitely hit puberty a bit later, I always felt everyone else had better genetics than me. I like to a very large degree, I felt like I was a bit of a victim in many ways. But like it was a very bad mentality that I have. But what did happen was I really sort of, how should I say, I delved a lot into the things that I could control, which was like my work ethic. And I always felt like that was my solution, my way out. Was like, I know I might not be the biggest, might not have the best genetics or whatever the case might be, but I know like I can just work harder than everyone else. And that opened a lot of doors for me. I really fell in love with like the David Goggins, the motivational speakers. Like I remember actually remembering it now, when I was in grade 7, 8, 9, 10, all that I listened to on YouTube was these motivational speeches. That's all I listened to. And bro, that changed my entire paradigm and my framing that I operate out of life. It never came from a place of victim anymore, because I always felt like I had a lack of this, a lack of that, and it changed to, okay, but what can I control? My inputs, my work ethic, putting my mind to something and taking action, you know? And that changed a lot of things, because despite the lack of what you have, the one thing that everyone can control is your focus and what you put your effort and your time into. And that's been my biggest thing, I think,
Yeah, but I remember like, And when I was in high school as well, I'd be on like the treadmill running because I always got in I got in sport quite early because I played provincial cricket, and like in order to get there you had to like hit a certain level on the bleep test. You had to do a certain amount of push-ups and sit-ups in a minute. So like I was always trying to max out those stats. And then I used to also bring like the NFL like compilations and like Lil Wayne and like all this stuff in the background. And I was like, bro, I'd always put them on and just put them on repeat and like run on the treadmill.
It's like a masculine like thing that just comes out when you listen to something like that, bro.
Yeah.